All right. Welcome to Boys and Brunch. This is the show where we expose everything going down on the timeline. And speaking of timelines, yet again, if you're on YouTube, I have the timeline broken up down below for the replay. So just jump straight to the topic that you want to hear. Today we have some interesting topics to talk about. We are going to talk about long distance relationships. We're then going to follow up and talk about Meek Mill's Kobe Bryant lyric and the fallout over that. And then we're going to jump into Juergen Teller's photos of these celebrities for W Magazine. I don't know. I know y'all saw those. And then and then we're going to finish up with actor Coleman Domingo's love story in GQ. And I'll tell you all about him when we get there. But yes. I'm Jarrod D. King. I am joined by my co-hosts, Brandon Harris Williams and Marcus Haynes. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
So, and I see we've got some people in the chat connected. Hello, Mama Shay. Hello. I'm sure we've got some more people on the way. And yes, Mama Shay, don't forget to hit like on this video. So Brandon, why don't you give us a little bit of an update? Let us know what's been up and tell us what you're drinking.
What is going on with me? What is up? I think just preparing for March. I think I'm gonna go into it with like some new energy and being excited. Thank you. And just in a good mood and positive and productive and all those amazing things. So I'm just kind of like spending this weekend a bit preparing myself for the new month to start. Yeah.
Okay.
And drinking lemonade and whiskey.
Lemonade and whiskey. That's a nice combo.
Mm.
Okay. What's the surprise look, Marcus?
No, it's funny.
Lemonade and rum.
Oh, really? Is that what you got?
Yes, I have a slight lemonade with rum in it. Yes.
Oh, okay. Love it. Okay, so y'all are on the same page as far as that's concerned.
Listen.
But what's going on with you? I see you got your Black History tee on.
Yes. Yeah. Last day of Black History Month, I had to represent for Black History at my school, Alcorn right there in the A. Yes. But yeah, so it's been an eventful week. Got some good news that I'll probably share in the coming days, maybe even coming weeks. I had fun. I was on a podcast talk about WandaVision on Friday, so that was a whole lot of fun. And yeah, I guess the only other things is still trying to figure out what's going on with my car, and now my computer has decided it doesn't. But we're gonna be happy. We're gonna drink our lemonade and be happy.
Oh no.
Oh man, your computer. We're gonna have to do like a GoFundMe for you, Marcus. You're gonna have to.
I'll take it. Listen,
a new computer for you. We're gonna have to get some Gorilla Glue. Put some Gorilla Glue on your head. Start a GoFundMe.
But that's not gonna work because that's scalp.
Okay.
Well, then maybe it'll come off easier.
Or maybe it'll be the reverse.
Exactly.
But you won't have to shave anymore. That'll be. I mean, if I don't know if you shave it.
Oh Lord.
So I just want to say hello to Ty McKinney. I see you popping into the chat. And for me, as far as I did watch your podcast with Carefree Black Nerd about WandaVision. I'm obsessed with that show, and I know you guys are as well.
Yes.
And it's so funny because I don't think usually all three of us are on the same page as far as the nerdy stuff is concerned, but this time, yeah, we're all in there. But yeah, so my little update this past week, I've been kind of moving in silence. I didn't want to say too much, but I did post something about kind of getting like 2 hosting gigs. So I am gonna be doing something similar to what I do with Boys and Brunch on this new app called View Live. So stay tuned to that. I am going to be putting that out there soon. And I also am going to host some watch parties. So what I would like to do, nothing's been set in stone just yet, but I would definitely like to do like a viewing of like Married to Medicine like every week. because that's my show. I love those people. I love those women. And I also
Love
would
my
like to do like
girl.
some Temptation Island. I don't know if y'all watch that stuff,
I don't know
but
that one.
I've heard of it.
Is that the
but
one where they like
it's
in
so
a relationship and then they go to the island to like test the relationship? Like
yes, it's a ridiculous premise,
it sounds like
but it's
it.
funny. It's a good show. But yeah, so that's my little update. And today I have got my sparkling rosé. Yes, I do. I went back to sparkling this week.
He's
Um
drinking.
I'm
Amen.
drinking.
Again.
The saints
Now
rejoice.
see, I was thinking of having like what do you call it? Like a margarita, because and I had that a couple days ago, but it was just so strong. Like I was out for like a couple hours. I was just like on the couch, just like staring into space. So I didn't want to go quite that strong today.
Okay.
So because I still had to get
Understandable.
through this show, although it probably would have been a funny show, but this is still gonna be a good one. We'll go crazy at some other point, maybe with the Bourgeois brunch, but
Right? We'll all be drunk and high and everything else. Yes.
Let's
So, to the Bourgeois, if at any point you hear something that you like, please hit the like button. Hit it now, in fact. But if you're not feeling us right now, we got some golden nuggets for you so that we can make you hit that like button under the video. And let's move into this first topic. What are we talking about? Long distance relationships. So I'm just going to read this tweet. I'm not going to put it up on the screen, but I'm just going to read this out to you guys. So @_feel_my_beard says or tweeted, quote, long distance ain't hard at all. Y'all just whores. So my first question about this is, what exactly does he mean? Is he saying long distance is hard for you because you're not able to go without having sex for so long? Or is he saying long distance is hard for you because you keep screwing it up by going out and having sex with people who are local? Is that like, what exactly is he saying? Or what was your interpretation of it? Let's start with Marcus.
My interpretation, he was just saying, if you stop screwing around every week, you'll be able to do long distance. And no. Like the whole, I don't know. Me personally, I've tried long distance thing before. Doesn't quite work out for me and my house. So no, I'm not a fan. Not in my ministry.
And Brandon, what are your thoughts?
I think initially I thought the same thing as Marcus, but I think hearing you present it in another way, I'm kind of like, I mean, both are negative, so it could be either or, that you like you cheat when they local, or like the fact that like you just have to get it. What was I gonna say? I don't have you let folks do what works for them, I guess. I think most of my experience has been long distance, and so that's what I'm quote unquote used to. I definitely want to change that, because I think that more than just wanting to be intimate with the person more often, you just want to spend time. I think that long distance can add a level of another layer to complicate things, like because then your communication has to be like perfect almost to be long distance, because you don't have a way to see each other, but you got to make sure that you're, I mean, still like interacting as if you were there as much as you can, kind of a thing.
Right. And that's the other thing. It's like when your communication has to be perfect, I feel like you can't really rely on text too much. And I feel like a lot of people like to rely on text messaging, and that can mess some things up. Because I know I've had a couple instances where, I'll be texting somebody and then they'll, because I'm a writer, so I know how to write with a certain tone and how to convey a tone in text. But not everybody does all that. You know what I'm saying? So then stuff gets misconstrued and I'm about ready to curse somebody out, and it's just not good. But I want to say hello to Real Talk with Goddess Tracy. Thank you for jumping in. And there was a question from Connected. He says, question, was the writer in a monogamous long distance relationship or an open relationship? And that we don't know. We don't know any personal stuff about this guy.
You don't even know if they're in a relationship. I think they're just tweeting to be provocative, more than likely.
Probably, yeah.
To get the people going.
Yeah, I mean, and I think like most of the time when we have these relationship questions, at least in my mind, people are talking from, unless otherwise stated, they're talking from a place of monogamous relationship
Yeah, that's what I always
rules
I think
assume.
it's a fair
territory.
assumption. Yeah.
You know, now Mama Shay says it depends on your love languages. If your love language is physical touch, it's going to be significantly difficult.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'd argue that, or also even quality time, because like you said, like you can't just depend on text. So maybe you can get them FaceTime, or some kind of video call. Everybody's different, but like quality time, that'll be really hard too to be long distance, because how often are you seeing each other or able to see each other?
Yeah. So have you guys been in a long distance relationship before?
Mm-hmm.
You have. Brandon, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, Lord. The long distance part of it, I think for us specifically, it was kind of hard because I was the only one doing the traveling. I think it was also hard, like our schedules, we like worked opposite schedules. So even though we're already long distance, like if we're off while the other person is working or they're asleep or whatever, that can even be hard to even do the communicating aspect of it. So definitely not for everybody. I think like who was it? Real Talk with Goddess Tracy said you have to be willing to make the work, to do the work, and it's a lot of work to maintain so that you feel as if you're close. So where the distance does become an issue,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Marcus, what has your experience been? I saw you nodding your head too. So why don't you give us a little bit of a rundown? And also, guys, if Marcus is frozen at all, let me know because I'll just keep it down to the three of us because I looked last time. It looked like maybe something was a little messed up, but that's no shade to Marcus.
I'm working. Yes, I'm working on that in the background. So we're gonna get it right in just a few. But
Okay.
essentially, also did a long distance, did a lot of the traveling, what have you. But I think for me, maybe I haven't taken the love language thing, but maybe part of my thing is like quality time or something that effect. The times I felt almost like I wasn't in a relationship because I wasn't seeing the person on the regular. We communicated on the regular, but the spending time with the person was really what kind of made it feel, I don't know, not substantial for me.
Mm-hmm.
So having a long-term relationship again, that's kind of what puts a pause on it for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think. Oh wait. I'm like straight. I'm putting up these long chat messages and then I'm cutting them back in like a half a second. So sorry, I'm like all over the place today. But yeah, I don't think I've dated long distance before. It didn't really last because there is the money aspect to it. Like if you're traveling, then that's money for, flight, money for a hotel. If you can't invite somebody over to your place, or if you're just not comfortable there, you're not just there yet to be up in somebody's space. But I think that was the biggest issue, the biggest roadblock for me when I was kind of dating somebody who was long distance. But I was willing to kind of go through with it and see where things went, and unfortunately I think it's just really hard to kind of get both people on the same page as far as that's concerned. Now, do you guys have to have a plan for kind of moving in together at some point when you're dating long distance? Is that important? I guess early on or at some point you kind of have to say, hey, we have to be moving towards kind of being together at some point.
Moving in is a lot. Maybe moving closer together, yeah, but moving in,
I cannot. I will say, I definitely think conversations should be had early on, saying we want to be in the same city together at some point, and I think from there you can kind of figure out and navigate. Like, okay, do we want to live in the same city, and so we get to actually experience dating in the same city without the commute part, of it, or the traveling aspect, should I say. Or maybe you feel like we've been in long distance for 2-3 years or however long. It's just time to move in together somewhere. I think I do what works for you, but I would definitely say have the conversation early that at least at some point we want to be together, whether it's where I am, where you are, a third option, whatever.
Mhm. Now, do you ever feel like, because I don't know, I think it's important to have that conversation because I feel like there's the potential for
Hmm.
somebody to just kind of be like, I'll just talk to you through text or whatever, and we don't really need to have a plan ever. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I don't know, but like, would there be any other pointers that you guys would give to people that are in a long distance relationship or want to get into one?
Pointers. I don't know. I think. I
Aside
think.
from maybe having that conversation. Get
I
your
think you
money
need
together.
to.
That would be mine. Get your
That
money
part.
together because you're gonna have to travel.
I
Maybe.
think. But I also think you have to know like your own personal needs are. So if it
Yeah.
is the being able to see each other, the quality time in person, or even if it's the intimacy or the just the flat out sex or whatever, then maybe that's not for you. If it is going to be a monogamous kind of a situation.
Hmm.
Because I know some people who do long distance, or they will be long distance for a portion, either at the beginning and the end, whatever, and they kind of decide until we're in the same city, because that's a need. We just we'll do what we do.
Okay. All right. Focus brings up an interesting. I don't know about this one. He says, I have a 10-year move in together rule. Until then, we're keeping separate quarters.
Whew, all right.
I don't know about that, Focus. That's a decade. We're talking about a whole generation.
I
But I
mean,
mean, but
I was apprehensive about the whole moving in together, but who 10 years? Sheesh.
okay. I mean, but everybody's not into cohabitation, so maybe that's because I am learning that because my friend did like a tweet, little poll or whatever, a couple weeks ago, specifically like gay men responding, and they all were like, "Yeah, we don't ever have to live together. That's fine. It's okay." I'm like, "Okay, things are changing."
How long before you move in then? I guess that's the question.
Whew.
I mean, I guess that goes for long distance or regular distance
Hmm.
relationship.
And who knows? I ain't got nowhere near that point yet.
But if you had
Well,
to guess, if you
yeah,
had to,
and because of that, you get to go first, Marcus.
okay.
I should have kept my mouth shut. Years is definitely the gauge. I would say at least like three. At least three.
Okay, 3 years.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
We got it. We got it. 3 years. I understand.
What about you, Brandon? You
I need.
just
I
not
need.
jumping in?
I need a ring. Ain't no shacking in this house. No, I'm joking.
Woo.
Partially. Partially. I would say yeah, probably 2 to 3. I think we need to definitely be together one for an extended period of time. I think in that time you also like spend enough time over each other's houses, hopefully. And I think too, to me, the longer can mean that the foundation is a bit more stable, or we kind of worked out some other kinks or whatever else. So yeah.
Got you. I mean, I think for me, it's just whenever it feels right is for me. And
Hmm.
personally, I know me. I'm like, I'm ready to just do like, let's just knock this out. Let's just do everything we got to do. Because if we working together, we just gonna do this, So it could be really quick.
How fast is really quick?
I mean, like we would have to have a title. We would have
Okay.
to, um, yeah. I mean, I think if we get to that point where we are seriously like in sync, I'm not just gonna move in with just anybody. Where if we're not on the same page, but
Hmm.
yeah, it could be like a year. I
Okay.
would think something like that. It could be like a year, maybe shorter than that, maybe 6 months if we're.
Okay. Everybody not able, but I love it.
At
Now
all.
I have a question. I just thought about it. I was just thinking like specifically as I've known more people like are getting houses and moving into home ownership and stuff. Like then I wonder what is that? How does that factor into like deciding to move in together? Like, would you move in with the man and he not put you on the deed?
Um, so see, that's an interesting question. I feel like if we were married and then bought a place together, that would be different.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it would be both of ours.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like we shouldn't buy property. I don't know. That's an interesting question. It's different. It depends. It really just depends. And the guy might, if he's got the money and he's putting his name on the deed and that's his house and I'm moving in, then okay. If this is what it has to be, then okay. But I don't know. What do you think? What are your
I was
What are
just
your
thinking about
thoughts
it
on
because I'm
that?
just thinking, like, I know people are like, or even having their houses already. Like, everybody doesn't want to move or want to deal with the cost of picking up, like, moving a whole house. I feel like is another set of things. So I don't know.
Yeah. The thing for me is like when you're moving into somebody else's place, then they've got, I don't know, it becomes literally a territorial thing where it's
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
they've got everything set up the way they like. And now they have to deal with everything changing. And so that could cause a lot of friction, I believe.
Same.
I think when you're able to move out of one person's space and have a space that you guys can call that's both of yours, whether it's in your name or not, I think that, relationship wise, that helps a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, there was one. Let me get one more thing in here because there was one more thing that I think Connected brought up. He says, Jarrod, you can still be together and live separately. The dynamics of every relationship are different. Yeah, and I believe that.
Me
Personally,
too.
I like to be, okay, so it's weird. Like for me, I like to be all on top of somebody like during non-business hours. During business hours, leave me alone. Like during the day, it's weird. Like I am very much I like my personal space. So I completely understand the need for personal space. But like in the mornings, like we're getting up, we're like saying hello, how are you? We're like, all up on each other or whatever. And at nighttime, we want to wind down, watch some TV, have dinner, go to bed, whatever. Those are the times I want to be like, all up on top of all up on top of each other. But during the day, like we can do our separate thing or we can be in separate rooms or whatever. I mean, of course, that's not always how it's gonna be because you're gonna do some things during the day together as well. But
And
I
see, for
do
me,
understand that.
that's part of the reason why I say like it's got to take some time because like I got to be able to know that I can deal with you on a day-to-day basis because I know what I like to do my own thing. I like to do what I'm gonna do, and if I need some time to be able to know that I can still do that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think we had some good information. I see Ty, he's on the same page. He says, same here, Jarrod. Thank you. I'm glad somebody got me.
Lord.
I can't.
So before we move into our next topic, this is the part of the show that everybody hates. I'm just
I
assuming.
can't.
But
can't.
I want to keep it short. Patreon. Sign up for the Patreon for $4 a month. You get access to the after show, Splitting the Bill. Get access to our what do you call this thing? A Discord server, Discord chat. Marcus actually just joined us yesterday, so now he's part of the he's up in the chat. We have a good conversation in there, so I want everybody to join us. Of course, the higher tiers, you get some more goodies and stuff like that. And yeah, that's about it. It's super short, super quick. Now we're gonna move into some mess. Okay, just like you like. I know y'all like the mess.
All right then.
I love the mess.
Yes. Oh, I love it too. I love it. Love the mess from afar. So we're gonna talk about this Kobe Bryant lyric that Meek Mill had that got leaked, I believe. So let me just read what it says. The lyric was, "This B, I'm effing always telling me that she loved me, but she ain't never showed me. Yeah, and if I ever lack, I'm going out with my chopper. It'd be another Kobe." So that was the lyric. Vanessa Bryant, after a ton of online blasting that he got for that, Vanessa Bryant, Kobe Bryant's wife, said, I find this line to be extremely insensitive and disrespectful, period. I am not familiar with any of your music, but I believe you can do better than this. Which is low-key a read, but
Hello?
okay, yeah, y'all caught that. I think everybody caught that.
We did.
And then she went on to say, quote, if you are a fan, fine, but there's a better way to show your admiration for my husband. And then Meek Mill responded to I guess some more of the online backlash, and he said, oh wait. I'm getting my stuff mixed up. He said he apologized to her in private earlier today, but not to the public. Nothing I say on my page is directed to create an internet viral moment, or to the family of a grieving woman. If you care about someone grieving, change the subject. Yeah. So, Marcus, how are you feeling about this lyric, and I guess just the way Meek Mill's even handled the whole thing afterwards?
So here's my thing. I almost want to be like, what did you expect? Like, that's so messed up. That's like you sitting here you making jokes about this man's death, first and foremost, and that's trifling. And then, like, I'm so sick of people, they say these things, meaning with their whole chest, and then try to say, well, I'm sorry that it came across that way. I'm sorry you got that. No, you meant it that way. You just didn't know people were gonna come at your neck like that. Now you got to deal with it. I'm honestly with Vanessa. Who are you again? Because the last time I knew who you was, you were Mr. Nicki Minaj. So,
Lord. Oh Lord.
I said what I said.
Oh goodness, I hear you. Okay.
Right? He meant that.
Brandon, do you have a follow-up to that?
I can try. No, I think that the lyrics are like in poor taste. I think it's disrespectful. I think it is, like you said, like it's a tragic way that he died, and for you to try to make light of it, and even the context of what you're rapping about, like why would you even try to bring that up in that? I don't
Exactly.
Get that. And I think it's like Marcus said, though, you weren't expecting this reaction. You probably was gonna listen to the song, it was either gonna fly over folks' heads or it would not be this whole thing. I think also too the timing is horrific because he literally just celebrated.
Well,
not celebrated, but it was just the anniversary of his death.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? This woman is still grieving, as she has expressed online. Like, hey, I know y'all wanna, because even I think the anniversary of the death, she was like, just celebrate him. Don't show me nothing else crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not even do that. So why? And why are you always in some mess? This is what bothers me about these singers and these musicians of today. Where is the music? Like,
where is the music?
You gotta be in some mess to promote it. Like, we just, every time y'all do this, we know, okay, music is out. We got it.
That's because their music can't carry the clout. So they got to have something.
Okay, like a few weeks ago when, who was it? Sammy was doing thirst traps in the gym. Sir, when is the single out? Just tell us.
Now, hold on. Now, I like Sammy. I like Sammy, and I enjoyed the thirst trap. However,
nice
you're not wrong.
He's nice to look at.
You're not wrong.
Okay, so I had to ask you. I was like, "Who is Sammy?" So,
but you know the one
forgot.
I sent you though, right? I like you, right?
Huh?
I like it.
I like the way you look at me. Sammy. Yeah.
I mean, but he's only had like mixtapes since then. So I understand.
He had another.
No way.
He had another song. I remember.
Oh no.
6.
Yeah. What was that? It's like a masquerade party or something, right? In the video.
Yes.
Is that Sam? You should be my girl. Amen.
I don't know that one.
You might know that one. You might know that one.
I might. Maybe if I go back.
It's older. It's older. It's like 2000 and.
Yeah. There was also some good sex song that he had. I don't remember the name of that one, but
okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, well, anyway, my reaction to Meek Mill's lyrics. And he gets back on track. was the same as y'all. I thought it was really disrespectful when I saw it, and I think he rightfully got flamed for that on Twitter. You know, Twitter ain't always wrong, and that's the other thing. People like to say, you know, the social media mafia or whatever, the Twitter mafia or whatever is just getting somebody, but it's not always wrong. You know, sometimes you get exactly what you put out. What was that, Brandon? What was
I mean, words mean things, so it's not always wrong.
Not always. No, not always wrong. Sometimes, and I think that's why I made this show, is because it's like we have to talk about certain things and like explain them a little bit more nuanced, because sometimes Twitter can just be
the nuance lacks.
The nuance definitely lacks. 250 characters is enough. I mean, can you think back to when we were doing 140 characters on Twitter, and it was just...
But that's the thing, but we have even more characters now, and there's still no nuance. I just...
You have you have the ability to make entire threads and still...
Exactly.
Okay, some people can make voice notes, and you still are off. I just... Also, though, his non-apology. He pretty much was like, I know that y'all didn't like that, and that was bad, but let's move on, because she's feeling away.
Right. So, you know, that was my other question was, do you think that he owed Vanessa like a public apology?
You put the song out publicly, or it was leaked? I would think so.
One of my friends always says, like, I want your apology to be on the same level of like platform that your disrespect was. So if you disrespect me in public, you need to apologize in public.
Yeah. You know, yeah, go ahead.
I was like, because I understand a private conversation, whether it was before the public apology, after, whatever that is, and you could have mentioned that y'all talked, but you reiterate the apology to everybody else. Because hell, for all we know, with the way you worded that, we don't know if you apologized to her. You know what I'm saying? We don't know to trust that. The way you worded this.
Yeah.
Hell, you may have said the same thing to her.
Okay, and that was your version of an apology.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of started, his initial reaction to all the blowback was somebody promo a narrative and y'all follow it. Y'all internet antics cannot stop me.
But sir, you that's what you said. Whether it was leaked or not, the words came out of your mouth.
Exactly.
But is he not known for internet antics as well?
Yeah.
I mean,
so yeah.
I still don't know what he's known for. So,
well, look,
they claim Dreams and Nightmares is a bop. It's never moved me that way, but everybody else likes.
Is that an album?
The most. It's a song. I don't know if it's the whole album. I don't know if that's the title.
Not supposed to be shady.
No, I know it's a song. I don't know if it's the title of the album that it's on.
I don't know. I mean, that one is cute in certain contexts. But you know,
I just know he was pretty big here in Philly at one point, because he's a Philly rapper.
Okay,
so
you gotta rep your boy. You gotta
hometown hero.
Okay.
If y'all know Philly, I'm from the main line, so
I can't.
So I'm like Philly-ish. I mean, I don't know. Well, I'm not even gonna go there. But I love Philly, by the way. That is no shade to anybody. I'm just saying. I'm not repping Meek Mill, especially on this one. But yeah, I do agree, Marcus, that I am a strong proponent of apologizing on the same level that the hurt was done. So yeah, Mama Shay is saying, "Go on and refill, Jarrod."
I noticed it was a little low. Thank you, Mama.
Go ahead.
It's not right. I'm gonna go refill.
Because listen, I'm gonna do the same.
But I will refill after we get into this third topic.
Lord.
Now this has gone.
I love how we make jokes
viral.
Out of everything. I love.
What'd you say?
I love how we make jokes out of everything. Like
this has got these photos, these celebrity photos that photographer Juergen Teller has made. They've pretty much gone viral. So I'm just going to show these photos, and we're just going to. I guess we're going to react. So let me put these up on the screen.
I need more alcohol.
Let me just put these on.
Here, let's go.
Okay, so we've got Jonathan Majors.
I already have an issue.
In front of a tree.
I already have an issue.
It's got a bright green suit on in front of a tree. So we.
Why y'all put that fine ass man in them ugly ass colors?
Let me know if y'all can see it. Hold on. Let me. Here we
From
go.
the tree, he's got to contrast his background, so you see the man.
But you can't see the man. All you see is the colors.
I don't have a problem personally with the outfit. I mean, because this lime green, I mean, it's definitely like photo, whatever. You know, it's like it's photo stuff.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I don't mind the outfit. I just hate that we literally are on a tree. Like, this isn't even a background. You're like literally on a tree outside. Right. And I see somebody's car in the background. Like, this looks like.
Yeah, I had to blank out their tag in the back.
Thank you, because them poor people tags is all over the internet.
All over the internet. So let's go to the next one. We'll just make this real quick. I don't.
What the hell? Is this real? Is this real, Jarrod?
So this woman is lying on the ground with her legs up. I'm just saying. I'm explaining this for our podcast viewers.
This is Photoshop. Now,
see, this was funny because I asked Brandon who was this woman. And I was like, I don't know who this is. So if y'all can tell me in the chat who this is this Brie Larson or is this like?
It's not. It's neither one.
I don't think that's Brie Larson.
Like, who is this? Is this Jessica Stiles or whoever? Save the Last Dance.
Julia Stiles. That's not her.
Julia
either.
Stiles. I was like, I could not find. You know, and I was like, I'm not going to Google like, 20, 30 minutes trying to figure out who this is. So,
but she's wrong for that. Like in a jumpsuit. And then I'm sorry. The whole outfit.
Yeah. So now we've got Stephen Yoon. He like this was taken under duress.
He looked like he in the corner.
Okay. And he looks tiny compared to that truck behind him. They wrong for that.
Podcast listeners, he's sitting on a chair. He's got a jacket around his shoulders. He's hunched over. And so it's not the best look, but interesting. And then we've got Tessa Thompson, and she's got this like lace body outfit, and she's in front of the tree yet again. We've got another one in front of the tree.
Is she holding? What is she holding on to? The power line? Is that what that is?
I think so,
because that's the little yellow covering thing.
I hate it here.
And we've got Tracy Ellis Ross.
I have an issue because my best friend has those chairs. Y'all got them chairs I like Family Dollar. I have a problem.
Just sitting in a folded chair in front of a car. That's it.
Yes, but I will say this particular picture I'm not too mad at because I feel like it's the most contained. The other ones just seemed a lot more. I don't know. Personally, it just seems
I think
the one that seems more like an actual celebrity photo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think the other ones, because it's too much of the background is trash, it's taking away from celebrity. Had it been more streamlined, kind of like we're saying, like this is very close on track. She probably was like, I don't know why the hell I'm taking this picture here, so make sure it's just to me. Because they're not and I appreciate that. Like, cool, like they just in front of a damn office building or apartment building or something behind them. So ain't no telling what the hell, what else is outside. Looking from the other pictures, like.
So those are our pictures, everyone. Let me get my screen back. I don't know. Hold on.
Yes, more editorial. Okay. Come on, Mama Shay.
Listen.
Tracy said she's been in the business too long. You know who my mama is.
Mama Shay said that's more editorial. Kiss My Cheese TV is saying, did people pay good money for this?
That's so wrong with people like that.
Hello, come on, connected.
Now, I will go into, I guess, Juergen Teller's kind of whole thing. This is the photographer we're talking about. I did a Google search, and in that it says that his style is minimalism, beauty of imperfection, amateur aesthetic, and humanizing aesthetic.
Very.
I give you amateur aesthetic. I don't give you those other three, but I give you amateur aesthetic.
It's way too much going on for that to be minimalist.
Down. I think minimal, he means minimal resources, minimal locations, minimal.
We'll
minimal
put him in a blank
variety.
room.
He don't have that. He don't have the access to that.
I also got a quote from this blog, High Snobiety. Says, quote, Teller's aesthetic has hinged around breaking the fourth wall between celebrity and non-celebrity by framing his subjects as candid, real people. They eschew the trappings of a glam squad, Photoshop, and meticulously detailed creative direction informing every shot. If you find the images jarring, it's possible that the overly edited Instagram aesthetic of our time has derailed your judgment.
No, they would be ugly if they were regular people taking the pictures.
They don't look like regular people. They look like some damn fools. It's like, you know who these people are. It's like, why is Jessica Thompson hanging on the power line in front of the tree? Why? Like, I can see if she put it on her Instagram, then let her do that. But she also wouldn't be that glammed up either. Like, you glam the people up and then you have them outside on cars. Like, for what? This is America's Next Top Model, like hey,
this is some shit that Tyra would have come up with.
Okay, so do y'all have a favorite? Do y'all have a favorite photo out of the ones we showed, or
Right.
maybe
It has to be Tracy.
Tracy? Okay,
Diane's daughter did that.
She probably called up her mom and said, "Mama, look what they're trying to get me to do."
I ain't gonna talk about Diane today. I'm not gonna do that.
But yeah, you know, I mean, I think Tracy's is the best. Now, I will say that because of the highly stylized Instagram photos and everything that we're all basically. I mean, I'm not gonna say that. We're not all professional photographers, but we can all perpetrate as though we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the reason that this has gone viral, not just because this was celebrities that were being used, but because it's the complete opposite of that. And so it's like an immediate, like, well, damn, I could have been doing this in my bedroom the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Sorry.
and I won't necessarily count that as a strike against this guy. I don't know. I mean,
He's so nice.
I just feel like, you know, art is very subjective.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? Do you feel like this is one of those moments where it's like mediocrity is being praised because
I mean, he's white, right?
Oh, I didn't know he was white. I just thought it was ugly. I just thought it was ugly. I mean, no matter who put it out, it would have been ugly. So.
Oh, I thought you said he was ugly.
Right, that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I don't know that man. I'm just talking about the pictures.
That's all I was like.
I don't know that man from Adam. I don't know what he looked like. I am not talking about that man's looks. I'm talking about the photos he put out.
I could not. I just thought of something as you were talking, though. I do think it's white mediocrity being praised, absolutely. But it's also interesting because this was a major magazine, I guess, or he's like a major photographer, whatever. And these are all, I hate this phrase, but people of color. And it's like they don't get these opportunities, this exposure, these whatever. So I feel like they should always have the best of the best. And you trying to do minimalist and amateurish aesthetic and all this other bullshit is not the photographer that they needed, you know?
I hear you.
But they're still growing their platform. They're not at granted, I don't want to say Denzel in front of a tree either, but you know, they're getting to that level or attempting to, you know?
Yeah, because I feel like probably the most famous one probably would be Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
Tessa probably comes close, but I feel like Tracy is probably the one with the most clout. And as we said, hers is the picture that looks the most editorial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Focus is saying that's actually how I feel. Art is subjective, so all of the feedback is actually valid. So yeah. I mean, I guess, you know, there are no losers in this conversation. But I want to ask you guys,
the actors.
Poor people and poor folk.
Yeah, I'm sure they all had a good laugh, especially Tracy. She probably had a good laugh about this. I can
And the other folks,
imagine.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah, I mean, and there was the tweet, the actor Riz Ahmed was saying, he came in 20 seconds, he took 2 shots and we were done. And he was like, that was amazing, a great experience or whatever.
Yeah, because it was 20 seconds.
Right. I took 2 shots. Man, I mean, but so I guess the last thing I would ask you guys is like, what makes a good photo or what makes good art? Maybe as far as photography goes, but I guess in general.
I guess in this particular case, it depends on the what is the word I want to say? The word I've been drinking. It depends on the audience / the like where it's going. I said the publication, I guess, or whatever. Like if you're doing this is not, I get this, your amateur aesthetic, that's fine. But if you're doing this for a magazine, especially a magazine cover or editorial or spread, whatever, these should be a bit more, to me, polished, a bit more. I don't know. I just feel like people normally look glamorous, for lack of a better term, on magazines, which can lead to a host of other issues. But I think that's also part of why we enjoy them. Is because at this stage we all have Instagram, so we know what they look like regular. Like we've probably seen them in front of trees and cars and every other bullshit. Because like they're a lot more like touchable, reachable nowadays than they would have been 20 or whatever years ago. But that doesn't mean you give us what's on their Instagram.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I think I agree with a lot of that. Like drinking.
Listen.
I feel like there's a certain level of fantasy that comes with magazine covers, things of that sort, that we're expecting. Especially now, because we can see these celebrities in their day-to-day. We can see Tracy going to freaking Target or whatever have you. So when we pick up a magazine cover, we expect that to be like the epitome, which, like Brandon said, can bring up some other issues, but that's just how it is. We expect this to be more glamorous, more put together. We expect it to invoke envy, and these do not.
No, they do not.
Okay.
Although I do imagine that tree is probably quite famous now.
Listen, people are gonna be taking pictures of that tree.
I might envy his check he got for doing nothing.
Right. I will end this topic by saying that it really brings back to mind. I remember going through to the Barnes Museum and seeing Picasso, and seeing a lot of his paintings in there, and then some of them that were just kind of like, very amateurish. It's very like stick figure type of thing. So it's like you can, it's really just kind of up to, I don't know. I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder type of thing. But yeah, I think that we could have gotten a little bit more of a glamorous collection, but there we go.
There it is.
So we're gonna move into our last topic. This is gonna be Coleman Domingo. I don't know if you guys know. Well, I know y'all know who he is, but the guys and people, everybody in the chat or everybody listening, he is the actor on Euphoria, and he was also in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and If Beale Street Could Talk, a bunch of other stuff. I looked at his IMDb.
He's gonna be in Candyman too, I think.
Yes, he's gonna be in Candyman.
If that ever comes out, yes.
Some point. Now, there was a GQ article that came out earlier this week that kind of got us talking a little bit. And it was about how he met his husband. And the story kind of goes that he was, I don't know whether it was like a Target or something like that, like a Target.
Like a little bodega. I feel like they were in New York somewhere.
Yeah,
I got that vibe.
Yeah. So he walks in and then he sees this guy, Raul, who's his husband's name, and he's, I don't know whether he's with somebody, he's with some woman or something, and he tries to call him over, but then he's kind of like pulled out of the store, and so they just kind of, they never really actually talk on that first meeting. And then I don't know how long it was after that. It was a while after, and he was looking through Craigslist misconnections or something, and he sees a thing about I forget what the title was, something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So then he sees the ad on Craigslist, and he reconnects with him. They go out, and then they end up, they end up falling in love. And so it was a really interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty romantic. I mean, you meet somebody, you see him in person, and then you reconnect online, and then you know. So that's the long and short of the story. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but go ahead,
It's
Marcus.
definitely a rom-com. I did.
Oh, okay. I thought you had something to say.
Not yet.
Hello.
Okay. So there was a little bit of talk about this online because Coleman is Black
Mm-hmm.
and his husband, I believe, is Latino.
Or white passing a little bit, just a little hint of.
Mm-hmm. So, so,
Not
and
you
I
gotta
feel
pour
like
again.
Keep going.
yeah, I feel like we went over this briefly at one point, I think a couple weeks ago, but I mean, I think it's okay to revisit it just slightly. Why did we get such a negative reaction to a beautiful love story like this?
I'll go first. It's fine.
Marcus. Okay.
He's so
Brandon.
boring. Did you want to go first?
Exactly. No, go ahead.
I think it's just the optics. I think that the Black gay male community specifically is like every time there's a Black gay celebrity, actor, singer, whatever they are, we're like, oh my gosh, now we're excited. We have this representation. And then we like all hold our breath, like, okay, hopefully they a Black guy. Like we just because we don't have those, especially enough, quote unquote, of those examples, for lack of a better term, out there. So it's almost we're always like, oh my gosh, I hope he's dating somebody, and then somebody not Black, and we're like, oh well, I guess. Like moving on. Like who cares?
Marcus, what is your reaction?
Okay. So I actually kind of was having this conversation with one of my friends the day before yesterday. Actually, maybe yesterday. I'm reminded of something that I saw in a Black gay movie that I watched. And it was a musical. And like one of the songs was called Black Love. And the way they described Black Love was like kicking and punching and fighting and battling. And I was disturbed. And I had to kind of sit with that for a minute until I realized that whenever we see Black love, a lot of times, whether it be gay, straight, or whatever, a lot of times when we see that, it is, struggle love. Like we never get to see these actual romance stories, never get to see these actual like happy ending stories. Usually when a Black person, be they gay, straight, or whatever, has their happy ending, they're usually with somebody not Black.
Hello.
And I think that's really at the crux of this, but especially for gay Black people, because we already don't have that much representation. We already don't see ourselves that often. So when we finally do get the opportunity to do so, like we never get to see us loving ourselves, us loving each other. So it just continues to just perpetuate this idea that, Black love is exactly what this musical song said. It is just a fight. And if you don't want the fight, go get on Craigslist and go find your spicy white. And, then you'll be happy. Then you'll have your little rom-com romance. And that's not cool. That's not cool.
Okay, so, and y'all know I have a different opinion about this because
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Like, okay, so y'all know, like, I get the whole, like, representation thing. First of all, I mean, I follow, Black gay Instagrams that is always showing Black gay love. They might not be celebrities, but there are plenty of regular Black men that are falling in love with other Black men. And I think
everyday
that,
people, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we don't have a whole lot of representation in the celebrity realm as far as Black gay professionals are concerned.
But
I
how
don't have
many
an
are with
issue.
black men?
I don't know. I mean there aren't many. And I think I would agree that probably a majority of them are with people of a different race. Um but I just can't judge somebody's personal love story. I don't, whether now, if they were going out and if they're actively dismissing other black men from their dating pool, I would have a problem with that. But
Mhm.
absent of that information, I'm just like, if you fall in love with somebody, then that is what it is. Now, as far as I always separate representation from real life versus what we see on TV and what we see in the movies and stuff like that. I do feel like we do have to have more representations of black gay love in TV and in film, because a lot of times they will only depict black people. I'll even say, even black women in love with somebody of a different race. And I think it's important to say that we can be together and we can be happy as well. But I just feel like it's a different story when you're talking about somebody's actual life and some where they are. you know so I personally, I don't have the initial annoyance that everybody
Mhm.
has, and I guess sometimes it just strikes me a little bit as a little bit strange. um So yeah, that would be my opinion on that. But I do want to ask you guys, have you ever written a misconnections before,
I didn't know this
Marcus?
was a thing.
No.
I did not know this was a thing until this story.
Really? You didn't
Hmm.
so were you ever on Craigslist?
No.
I wasn't either.
No? Okay.
Mm-mm.
Interesting. Okay.
Is
I
that a
thought that was
regular
like a
thing?
I thought it
I
was
think it
just
was
like
for a lot of people. I
at
think it
one
was, but I
point it was
think it.
like, it was like the bare bones BGC.
Yeah, and I think it's some of that overlap. I think it's prior to BGC, Adam for Adam, and some people were just already on there, so stayed on there, and things go on. But I think once Jack and Grinder hit, I think for the most part that kind of faded away.
Yeah, yeah, and then
Once people got mobile
so
apps,
they got rid
yeah.
of the personals a couple years ago on Craigslist because of I guess prostitution or something like that.
Mhm. Oh,
And
what is
see,
misconnections? They asked that. Sorry, just really quick
You said what
to
is
explain it.
misconnections?
Hmm.
Misconnections is basically you go into it's a list. It's like how you have like personals or something, like even like a newspaper, you'll have personals like, hey, call me, blah, blah,
Hmm.
blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like that, but
mhm.
it's for people like if I saw so and so, if I saw somebody out at, the grocery store
Hmm.
and, you help me get the can off the high shelf and we never talk again. And then I go to misconnections and I say, uh, to the tall guy who
Okay.
helped me grab that
Um,
can of
All
soup
right
or
now.
whatever, you know, I
Come grab something else.
it's
Hello.
just it's an opportunity to connect with somebody who you have come in passing with, but you didn't really get that chance in the moment to actually have a conversation with, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um. So yeah. So you guys have
I'm with
not.
Mama Shay. I'm with
Go ahead.
Craigslist dating because I don't know, like
I,
the way that I always understood Craigslist, the way that I was introduced to it was that this is what creeps were. Like people, they would come and chop you up,
well,
and I just
well.
don't, I just did not want to deal with that, so it never became a thing on my radar.
Yeah. Craigslist was kind of creepy.
See,
I will say that. I will say that was a little bit creepy.
But it.
And a lot of the personals were littered. It was very much a hookup type of thing. It was not like, I mean, there were some people who wanted to date, but the people who wanted to date always gave you the vibe of like, you know, the psycho guy.
the ones that will
With
chop you
the
up.
yeah, with the with the wig and everything. It was just like some Alfred Hitchcock movie. Um So yeah, that was the gist. Now I've never written a misconnections post. I have looked through them sometimes, though. Have you guys ever looked through them at least to see if maybe there was somebody?
When I tell you, I stayed away from this because I didn't want to be chopped up.
Yeah, it's weird. I think because Craigslist is only written, right? So you can't see anything, whatever. So I think I'd already been used to your apps, whatever everything else. I'm like, I'm just a random whatever posted something. No, thank you. No, thank you. Let me at least catfish me, hell.
At least put in the effort.
Yeah, I will say the misconnections sometimes could be extremely hilarious because misconnections is sometimes like I'm gonna get you back for what you did type of thing. Like it reminds me of that song like this is for Rachel, you big fat smelly white. That's exactly what that was. Like sometimes you would just go through misconnections and you would just laugh because it was just so much. It was so much drama, So yeah, that was going on. But
and honestly, that the way you describe the misconnections is kind of creepy in and of itself. It's like, oh my God, I saw you in the store and I wanted to come talk to you. Like, what kind of crazy ass Alicia Keys voice message is this? No.
I mean, but that happens. I had somebody find me on Facebook that way. I mean,
I think that's a good place to start for our after show. So we are going to go, but I wanted to let everybody know, please click the link below in the description below to join our Patreon and get access to Splitting the Bill. We're going to record that right now. And I think we've had a great show today. And I want to thank Brandon Harris Williams and Marcus Haynes for joining me as well. Let's put up our social. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Jarrod D King. Brandon, you are at Just Call Me Otis, and Marcus is at Loose as a Deuce. And yes, there's our Patreon as well, boysandbrunch.com, or patreon.com/Jarrod D King, because I'm not entirely sure whether boysandbrunch.com is going to go to that page.
I think it does
sooner. I don't know. I know it goes there right now, but I just don't know if I'm going to be doing that forever. That's all I'm saying. And there's the train right on time.
That's the signal.
True.
That means it's time to toast, everyone. So raise your glasses. So until next time, be careful what you say because the boys will brunch. Take care.